Well, it's time for another gardening week, and it's actually going to be the last gardening week for a while because I'm pretty much finished with gardening on the allotment and in the kitchen garden now until, well into May. I've got very little to do. Most of it's going to get done today. So yeah, I'll just pause the gardening weeks, and I'll basically just concentrate when I do videos on, specials on particular things or tours or whatever. This bed was lettuces over winter, then it was Asian greens and kales, and now I'm just about to clear it and get it ready for carrots. There's a lot of nice growth here, a lot of greens for composting, but still lots of nice kales as well, which I'm going to bag up and include in the harvest next week. But all the Asian greens, all of these, the leaf quality is really poor now. I wouldn't want to be eating that. So, but the kales are nice still. It's still really nice kale leaves, so they're worth saving. But I've got plenty of kale. There's a few Asian green leaves that are eating quality. I don't mind eating them when they're sort of nice and glossy like that. But once they start going sort of dusty like this, I find they're not very tasty. They're very sort of limp and loose. And the plants are putting all their energy into growing all these seed heads, which you could eat, of course, but we've got plenty of those as well. So it's not worth saving. And carrots are much more worthwhile as something to grow at this time of year. So when I'm clearing a bed like this, I just generally twist everything out. So it doesn't really take very long. And then obviously I'll chop it up and compost it. So we haven't had any rain for at least 6 weeks, I think. Anything significant anyway. I think we had a few millimetres. I've got a few bits of mare's tail coming up, which is really not ideal in a carrot bed, but the best I can do is just sort of weed them out, and hopefully they're weak and I can kind of get them under control before the carrots need to be sort of fully covered. For carrots, I like to give them a little bit of blood, fish and bone. I'm going to give this a really good water, use up too much of my precious water supply, and then I'm going to mulch them with spent potato compost, which is kind of what I generally prefer to use. I find that most of the weed seeds have sort of sprouted in that by the time I come to use it. So it's reasonably weed free. Just need to make sure that I get all of the actual little potatoes out of it. Digging down, it's about 3 inches down before I hit any moisture, so that's going to be about 6 watering cans on each of these 1 metre square areas. Right, well, that's all ready for sowing. That's the job for tomorrow. So now I'm going to take this pea frame down, well, not the frame, I'm going to take this polythene wrap off because it's warm enough now for the peas, and got a few nice sunny days like this for them to just adjust to not having any protection before it gets a bit windier. Oh, that's looking really nice. This is such an easy way to do the peas. And so the theory is now I can just roll this up and use it next year. So now I'm just going to basically do the same thing, unwrap these broad beans. I don't need that. And in theory I can use this again, but this is fleece, which I hate. but I just had to use because I don't have anything else. But it's kept the broad beans growing quite nicely. They'd probably grown okay on their own, but and then I'll just put some fence pins in then to support them. So these green canes I like to use for the peppers. So I'm going to take these out, and then these fence pins, which are really useful, they can just go in. And I can tie those if I need to into this wooden batten, but they'll probably be okay on their own like that. So I tied them in the end. So both of these mini beds are a bit of an experiment, and so far I'm really liking them. Obviously a lot less work than maintaining a full-size bed, and really easy to water, and the wood chip keeps all the moisture locked in underground and feeds the plants at the same time, and I get my seating area. And it is my plan to extend this along here, more and more of these mini beds and less full-size beds, but it depends how well it goes this year. We grew French beans there last year and it went really well. So next up, I just want to take this cold frame lid off here, because obviously this spinach doesn't need it now, and it is going to rain next week, and I want this bed to get as much natural rainwater as I can. Less watering for me to do, so I'll just store this away at the back of my polytunnel. That's much better and easier to harvest from too. So now we'll just take a look over here, and I planted beetroot in there yesterday, and now I just want to interplant it all with salad onions. I wish I'd done it before I put this cover on, but I'm sure I'll figure out a way of doing it, and it won't be too arduous. So as always at this time of year I'm putting lilia in, and lilia is a bulbing onion, works great as a salad onion. If I need to take them as salad onions, which I possibly won't, I can just leave them in here to bulb up. So it's a nice interplant. These are the beetroot that we should be eating in sort of midsummer through to early autumn. So these calabrese have started to form heads, which is a bit early because the plants are still quite small. I'll probably still get a reasonable sized head, maybe, you know, sort of tight fist sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger, we'll see. But it does mean that this bed's going to be a bit underutilised, because I won't really be planting it out again until late May, I should think, when the melons go in. And as a result, I've just popped in these little baby kale plants that I've got going spare, and I put those all around the edges, and now the melon is just going to go in the middle. So in theory I could actually leave these little kales in when the melons go in, we'll see. But anyway, I should get, you know, a nice little harvest off these in the hungry gap. And I've done the same in this bed again, same issue. These are going to flower a little bit earlier than I'd like. Ideally I want them to go into flower in May, so they're sort of 2.5 weeks early. So in this one I've put baby bull's blood beetroot for leaves, salad leaves, and again I've just put them around the edge. So I hate to see a bed being underutilised, so we'll see how those two sort of interplants go. I've got reasonable confidence. Normally I wouldn't do it, because normally these would be so big they'd overshadow, they'd basically fill the whole bed, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. And then my final job of the day is I just got a wood delivery, and so I've just put this little raised, well, not raised bed, cold frame top on this bed. This is one of the last beds that I don't have a cold frame top for, and it always annoys me because it always means this bed is really badly utilised. In fact, it's often very underutilised and just neglected, really. It is very shaded, so it's not an ideal bed, but one of the reasons why it gets underutilised is because there's so much leaf drop from here, it just sort of smothers the bed. And if I put a cold frame top on here, then I can just easily wipe the leaves off, and so that means I can have a crop in here. It'll have to be a crop that I can just leave, sort of grow in summer and then leave through winter, so it'll probably be something like beetroot or parsnips or something like that, but or carrots or whatever, because it does get some sun in summer. It's not getting much sun right now, but it will get some sun in summer. So yeah, just chipping away at making the plot more efficient gradually, bit by bit. And since I was having a wood order done, I used all the offcuts to make a cold frame top for this bed as well. I haven't done it yet, but I've got all the little pieces of wood and just prepared them and put the sealant on them and everything. So tomorrow when I come back, hopefully I'll get a cold frame top on this and then I'll be done. Well, I've just got the carrots in. It's about 300 and something like that carrots. The wet labels mark the rows, and when I do the carrots, all I do is I just use a bit of wood at an angle, so kind of like that, and make a depression about a centimetre and a half deep, something like that, and just lay the carrots in the groove, and then backfill with seed compost. I've got a bag of seed compost that I've been using for years and years and years, and it's still sort of 2/3 full, so you don't need very much. Just sprinkle it in with your fingers, smooth it over. And I've got dedicated videos all about doing carrots in my carrot growing guide, and I've just done this bed of parsnips, and I think, as I was saying yesterday, it's a low value bed for me, this one. It's difficult to get a good crop out of, so really the best thing I can do is grow something over summer and then leave it in the ground over winter, because it just doesn't get enough sunlight here to grow anything substantial during winter itself. But then in spring, when the parsnips are finished, get this replanted and get a nice spring crop out of this before I start my summer crop. So that's the idea. And yeah, I mean, everything's looking pretty good. Just look at those lettuces there, interplanted with the salad onions. It's kind of views like that that make me want to spend more time on the allotment. So 19 lettuces left over, so I just planted them in this bed. I can't remember what I'd got planned for this bed, but it's not ready yet. So I always prefer to have something growing in the ground all the time. So I just stick those lettuces in. If I get a harvest, then that's a bonus. And if I don't, at least I had something growing. Move my second batch of potatoes outside now, because there's no risk of frost, at least for the foreseeable. And I've got another load down there. So yeah, these potatoes are ready now to start harvesting, but I'm not ready to start harvesting them. So I just have to keep watering them, keep them in good condition. Got all the late spring and summer carrots outside now. So much blossom around. It's looking lovely. So there we go, here's the harvest table. It's a pretty good haul, as per usual I suppose nowadays. And what have we got? We've got loads of bags of kale, loads of spinach, loads of collet leaves, carrots, beetroot, bags of spinach, Brussels sprouts. They're the last of the Brussels sprouts off the allotment. So we've just got the Brussels sprouts in the kitchen garden now. Elephant garlic, we've got shallots and red onions. And these are the last of the potatoes off the allotment. I think we've got 3 or 4 weeks worth of potatoes still in pots on the drive before we switch over to the new season potatoes. But I did mention that they were ready, and I did have a rummage around and they are ready on the allotment. So yeah, I mistimed that a little bit. I suppose it's just been such sunny weather. Potatoes have just come on a bit quicker than I'd expect. These are the flowers off the spring cabbages. So a few of those have gone to seed. I actually like these more than I like purple sprouting broccoli. But we've got plenty of purple sprouting broccoli and a lot more to come. Tatsoi, kale, and these are the leaves off the spring cabbages that went to seed. Asparagus, chard, salad onions. First pick of the green garlic. Just ordinary garlic that we just pick a little bit immature. That's lovely stuff. Which is good actually, because this garlic, well, I mean, that particular specimen that I happened to pick is pretty good actually, but yeah, we do have quite a bit of garlic left, but it's not the best quality now. Claytonia, I did say I'd picked the last of the Claytonia, but I actually didn't get around to clearing it. So in the end, I just picked a little bit just to go in the salads, a few salad carrots. Looking forward actually to the new season carrots. Had a look at those today, and actually they're looking pretty good, so I could start harvesting them now, but I've still got a few weeks of good carrots in the ground, and actually these are pretty respectable. I think it helps that they've just had a fairly recent frost, so yeah, they're still quite sweet and crunchy, so I'm not really complaining. Radishes, I've got loads of radishes, but anyway, yeah, loads of radishes. These little turnips, these are what's left of the early ones. I've got actually, you know, a later succession that are almost ready now, much nicer than those. Leeks, did I mention leeks? Loads and loads of leeks. Just one I've seen that started to go to seed, so I do have to keep picking these. That's probably more leeks than we normally get through in a week, but yeah, we're giving a lot away at the moment. Obviously, Debbie and I can't get through everything on this table, but we get through about half of it and give the rest of the way to the kids and a couple of friends. So I've got mixed Asian greens still to add to these salads, and obviously the tatsoi and the carrots and the radishes and everything. So I'll just make those up, but they're really looking like a nice salad at the moment. A really nice mix. I've already got spinach in these mixes and salad rocket. So yeah, they're looking quite nice. So that, as I say, it's a nice table for spring, and a little bit of colour on it, which is what I'm always trying to achieve, but not always succeeding. Anyway, my name's Steve, and remember, this is the last gardening week for a while. So yeah, I'm taking a bit of a break from gardening for the next few weeks while I get ready for May, and I'll also be taking a bit of a break from videos, although I might do the odd one or two.